It is Monday, August 11th, and it's time for Q&A. Today we're answering questions. Do I eat? Patty wanted to know. Oh boy, do I. And it's a great time to, today is a great day to answer that question. How do I stay so motivated? This is a question I get all the time. And do I offer meal plans? So before I dive into these, I want to remind you that if you like my health and weight loss information, and you want to pull it all together because you want to start really implementing these strategies. The best place to start, yes, I have 10, almost 10 years worth of content on Instagram, developing quite a library here on YouTube, but I pull it all together for you in my latest book, which is actually published a year ago, right around today, probably. Happier, Healthier, and Hotter. High protein, low calorie, bikini friendly recipes. So I will absolutely drop a link to this in the caption. It is really so much more than a cookbook. In this book, I pull together the weight loss strategies that work, the, the strategies that have helped my clients lose 10 to 35 pounds and keep it off, eating real food. And it's the same things I do to stay lean, even now, turning 59 in a few days. I'm over 5 years post-menopause. People always ask me how I do it. It's all in that book, and it's really simple. So let's answer this question from Patty, who is clearly new here. Patty left a comment on one of my Instagram posts. Do you eat? Oh, yes, I do, Patty. So I said, Patty, you must be new here because all I've been talking about for the last 10 years is what I eat, how I eat, and how amazing it is. So I think a lot of times when people see a woman who is lean and fit, especially, you know, of a certain age, they think that this involves deprivation, hardship, hours of cardio, and like it couldn't be further from the truth. But I do have some real strategies, like prioritizing protein and produce. But just when, so I said, Patty, oh my gosh, do I ever? So when I got that question, I just come back last week from a few days in New York, where I was in New York for about 24 hours. I had, first of all, lots of delicious coffee. I had the most fabulous niçoise salad with seared ahi tuna, quail eggs, the most delicious black olives, the steamed green beans, a delicious lemon vinaigrette. It was fabulous. And then later that evening, my daughter and I enjoyed rooftop cocktails with a view of the Empire State Building and had some really delicious, we did kind of appetizers up there on the rooftop. We had burrata, this delicious, yummy, creamy burrata, and melon wrapped with prosciutto. Every single bite was delicious. The next day, we were out walking, got hungry. We had just had our coffee, hadn't had breakfast yet, and we picked up, sounds a little crazy maybe with some people, but we thought it was delicious, some just sliced steak that was like ready to go and some fruit because we were going to the Louis Vuitton Cafe for coffee, more like we would get cappuccinos there. And we were getting a little hungry. We weren't really planning to order food at the cafe. Well, then we get to the cafe and we're like, we really need to get a bite to eat here just because it's so beautiful. So we had the most beautiful fruit plate. And we also had caviar with creme fraiche and this like crispy potato waffle thing. Um, I ended up ordering a huge sushi bowl for the train ride home and also with some chocolate on the way home. So yes, Patty, I eat. Last night, I was out to dinner, again with my daughter, at the most fabulous steakhouse, Davio's in King of Prussia, Davio's Northern Italian Steakhouse. Oh my goodness. Um, Enjoyed two spicy margaritas, super clean. There was no mixer, like no sours mix or anything. It was a really clean margarita. Davio's has a fabulous, I mean, you can do really well at steakhouses anyway. They actually have a fabulous, like, kind of weight loss oriented menu. We had oysters in the half shell, tuna tartare with avocado and ponzu sauce. Oh my goodness. 8-ounce fillets, each had an 8-ounce fillet. We ordered some sides. We did mushrooms and asparagus. And I had an Americano after dinner and a few bites of her dessert, which she didn't finish either. We were very satisfied. But we were talking afterwards about how it was such a delicious meal and we were satisfied, not stuffed. So, Patty, I absolutely eat. I prioritize protein and produce, just like I've been saying here on, well, what like I've been saying on social media for years. Um, I eat very well. I'm well nourished. I'm well fed. But I'm not eating crap. There were, if you notice, there were no processed carbs in any of those things that I mentioned. My sushi bowl actually didn't have the rice. Not the rice is pretty clean. I just doesn't really do anything for me. I don't eat grains. I find them inflammatory, but even if you do, I just, I would watch the processed carbs if you're looking to lose weight. I'm not saying don't have carbs. Have those sweet potatoes, have the fruit, all of those things. If you're getting when you're getting your protein and calorie goals, when you have them right, the carbs and the fat are just going to fall into place. But yes, Patty, I eat. No deprivation going on here. Um, okay, another question that I get constantly. So I got this several times last week. How do I stay so motivated? I don't. I'm not motivated. I'm inspired and I'm consistent. And there's a difference between inspiration and motivation. And they're both good. But I think that motivation is kind of overrated. Motivation is very fleeting. And people tell me, oh, I'm just trying to get motivated. I'm waiting to get motivated. If I were waiting to get motivated, nothing would get done. So I'm inspired. Like I'm inspired by the goals that I have. I'm inspired by the vision I have for my life. I'm inspired by the woman I'm becoming. So I look for what actions do I need to take to be her, to become that. And most days I'm inspired to take those actions because I'm inspired by that vision. But even on the days when I'm not, I'm still going to take the actions because I'm consistent. And I'm going to give a silly example of something that happened to me today. And actually, I'm wearing this bikini because I didn't really feel like getting dressed because I'm going to get dressed to go to work, which is just like a black shirt that I don't feel like wearing on camera. So, I have been dancing to bikini on Instagram every day, counting down to my 59th birthday, which is in 3 days. And I got this idea in late June. It was an inspiration. And I just decided to go for it. It sounded good to me. I didn't overthink it. I was just like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to dance in a bikini every day. It's going to be a Reels. And I did it. I mean, it just sounded fun to me. It sounded creative. I also figured it'd be a great way for me to visually track my progress because I set a goal for myself of being in the best shape of my life for my 59th birthday. But this sounded really fun to me. Had I overthought it, I would have talked myself out of it. But anyway, since then, I've danced in a bikini every single day on Instagram, creating a Reels, some days twice, because then after 1 or 2 days in, I decided I would make it 59 bikinis, and it was like 54 days. So I have to double up some days. And every single day I've done it, it's been so much fun. But some days I'm more inspired than others. Am I motivated to do this? I don't know, but I'm inspired. Today, I'm going to be honest. I'm a little tired. I got home late last night from my delicious steakhouse dinner, got to bed late, and I'm running on 5 hours of sleep, which is not optimal. Like, I wouldn't recommend it. I'll be fine. And this morning, like a lot of times, I don't always know what song I'm gonna do or what bikini I'm gonna do when I get up, like when I go to bed at night, but it usually just comes to me. Well, today, nothing was coming to me. I had a different bikini picked out with a song in mind, but I was like, oh, that's not the song that I'm feeling today. And they're like, great, what am I gonna do? And I shared in my Instagram stories, look, I'm gonna be honest, people, I'm not feeling inspired. I'm not feeling like excited about this. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So, but I knew I was gonna do it. And I knew I needed to get it done because I have to get ready to go to work. So I thought, well, if I figure out the right song, maybe that will inspire me. First of all, the bikini is fabulous. So yes, I'm inspired by the bikini, but I couldn't figure out a song. So I opened up Instagram. I went to the Reels portion, I just like looked at like what music they were recommending for me. I kept scrolling down and I saw Safety Dance, which immediately took me back to the early 80s, brought back all kinds of memories. And I decided to do that because it's just like we can dance if we want to. Like it's kind of what the whole theme is here. So that brought a smile to my face, brought back a lot of memories, including some stuff like memories about a friend that I'm not friends with anymore, not by choice. And it's not that we had a falling out, it's that I was told not to be friends with her anymore. That's a whole other story because I listened. I listened, even though it like hurt me. So, wow, that brought up some stuff. That brought up some stuff. Um, and it was clearly stuff I needed to deal with. It shows me how far I've come. It shows me that I'm no longer in a controlling relationship. Um, but yeah, so I'm not motivated. I'm inspired. Don't wait for motivation. Take action. Last question, Danielle asked if I offered meal plans. And I don't. Um, like I will, and I'm going to explain why. I don't have a meal plan like 6-week bikini body program or anything like that that you can buy because I feel stuff like that honestly doesn't work, or if it does, it's very temporary. Now, but I do have some suggestions. And I'm also not saying I'll never do something that I might, but I would really build in a lot of flexibility for you. So when I work with clients one-on-one, I never give them a meal plan and say, here's what you need to eat every day, but we will certainly walk through what their day is like, what their lifestyle is like, what their food preferences are, what their goals are, and come up with some suggestions about what a typical day of eating could look like for them based on their calorie needs, their protein needs, and their lifestyle. So that's why I can't just say, here's what you need to eat, because everybody's different. Even if I get, even giving a basic framework, like you might just be like, I don't like like that food. I don't want to eat that for breakfast, whatever. So in my cookbook, the latest one, Happier, Healthier, and Hotter, high protein, low calorie, bikini friendly recipes. These are all super simple recipes with lots of flexibility, and they're all made with ingredients you can grab at your local grocery store, like real food ingredients. But in that book, I do offer some sample days of eating to show you what a day of eating could look like at like 1,500 calories and 150 grams of protein or different things like that. So there's absolutely ideas, but at the end of the day, like rigid meal plans, they work until they don't. And they generally stop working pretty quickly if you don't have some say in figuring out what they are. So if you're following some meal plan that somebody gave you and they said, this is what you need to eat, and you're like, okay, you go to the grocery store, you get all the stuff, it's all packed up, ready to go. And maybe you do this for a couple days or a week or a couple weeks. And it could even be going really well. But then life happens, shit happens. You can't get to the store. Um, you're sick. Your dog is sick. You go on vacation, whatever. And suddenly you go off the rails, so to speak, because and so many times we feel like, oh my gosh, I messed up. Well, now I messed everything up. So what works much better than a meal plan is to have a strategy for the way you eat. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean you're not going to plan ahead. I absolutely believe in planning ahead as much as possible. But when you have this simple template of prioritizing protein and produce, building your meals around high quality protein dense foods like beef, fish, eggs, poultry, maybe some low fat dairy, filling in with colorful fruits and veggies, this works wherever you are. You can be at a convenience store. You can be at an amazing steakhouse. You can be in your own kitchen. You can go to a fast food restaurant. Like, is that going to be the best? No, but you can put something together. You can absolutely prioritize protein and produce. You can get a few burger patties, a salad. You can make it work wherever you are. And that's when the real magic happens. That's when you don't just lose the weight. That's when you keep it off. That's when you get inspired that's when you're like, oh my gosh, now I want to walk more. Now I want to build up my booty, whatever. So anyway, that's it for today. I'm absolutely going to drop the link to my cookbook in the caption. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have the most fabulous day.